Big up, Dave. How you doing, brother?
Go on, Dave.
Look, absolutely buzzing. We win at the end of the day, and it's my weekend is not ruined, and that's all I care about. 3 points in the bag. Doesn't matter, how you perform. 3 points is what goes on the board at the end of the day. Now, listening to Sean, I do actually take some of Sean's concerns, but my view is a little bit different. Look, I think it was a game of two halves. I think, look, they could have a better team against us. Probably would have been 3-0 up at half time. But then we could have easily come out today and won that 3-0. We hit the bar. We missed a couple of chances. So I do think it was a game of two halves. I think the first half was very, very frustrating to many Spurs fans. I mean, we just could not get a grip of it whatsoever. And even when we had the ball, and look, for me, I'm not having a go at the back line, but I do think, and I alluded to this in the pre-match pump-up, I do think the fact that we were so slow moving the ball out from the back line made Bentancur and Højbjerg look bad. Because anytime they were coming to get the ball, they were just picking it up from 5 yards off the iron and popping it back because they constantly had their back turned to play. And it's too risky in the positions they were in to get turned on the ball just in case they get the pocket pick. So I do think maybe the defence didn't help us in the first half in terms of progressing the ball. And anytime we tried to go long over the top, which was a clear tactic to start off the game, we tried it about 4 or 5 times. Every single one of them passes that came out from the back line over the top, overhit. Either went out for a goal kick into the goalkeeper. So I don't think the actual back line in terms of on the ball really helped us in the first half, if I'm being honest. I think second half, much improved. But for me, I actually think the change that Bruno Lage made, I'm just going to call him Mr. Lager, Lager made, I believe taking off Matinho actually changed the game completely. As soon as he came off, we had a lot more space in the middle. We could get on the ball a lot more. And funny enough, they actually looked more exposed in that back line, in my opinion, once he made that change in Matinho.
Yeah, so Dave, was talking on Sean's point before. Did we deserve the victory today, or do you think we got away with it? I know it was a game of two halves, but if you take the whole game on reflection, who deserved the victory, if either team did?
No, look, I think we did. I think, look, at the end of the day, I think we created the better chances, and we took one of ours at the end of the day. I think if you look at their dominance in the first half compared to the way we were in the second half, I think we had a better second half than the first half they did, and we created better chances. So on the reflection, I do think we probably did deserve to get out with the 3 points, but just in my opinion.
Dave, I want to ask you about a player. 7 hours, no goals conceded. Mr. Davinson Sanchez. What did you make out of his performance today?
Look, first of all, I actually want to start by giving a bit of credit to 2 headers at the end from the corner kicks were absolutely crucial to help us maybe get out with that result because, and I said it in the pre-match pump-up as well, I did think he'd probably help us defensively from our set pieces. I think that's probably where he may actually add something to the team. But just because he won 2 headers at the end, I'm not going to sit here and say he had a phenomenal game because there's still errors to his game. You look at when he ducked in the first half. I mean, the Wolves player running off him, he's right beside him, he knows, he ducks. Put your head to it, put the ball up the field, get the whistle blown. But instead, we had to sit there for a nervy minute, while Wolves were open our end because Sanchez couldn't put his head to the ball. He also got roasted more than a packet of peanuts at times down that right-hand side. Players just knocking the ball by him and going. So I still believe in what I'm saying about his defensive frailties, but credit where credit's due. He stepped up for 2 headers at the end. But let's not let that gloss over his overall performances. There are weaknesses still there in that back line in terms of on the ball and progressing it out and also defensively.
Is he good enough to be a backup?
No, still not good enough, in my opinion. Look, I'd rather bring in someone to make Eric Dyer a backup. Look, that back line for me, I think will end up causing us problems if it is rolled out more often than not, if Romero does pick up injuries. Because we have to remember, Romero picked up loads of injuries last season, and he'd probably end up doing the same this season. He has a recurrent muscle injury. He constantly has hip problems and stuff like that. So you will end up relying on these guys. And just on the football, in the first half, it's evident to see they are not good enough. You could not get the ball into midfielders, could not get anytime he hit it over the top, it was overhit. And they're prone to switching off at times. So for me, and I think as well on another day, if we played a team that pressed us, they would have got a lot more joy out of us if they pressed that back line. And defensively, I still think we still have errors there. I'm not going to sit here and be naive to them just because we won. But at the end of the day, we got out with the 3 points, and that's all that matters.
Dave, it was a full debut today for Ivan Perisic. I want to know what you made out of his performance today.
I mean, it's just a joy watching people that are just quality on the football, boys, you know. And for me, that's the way I want everybody to be out throughout our team, just quality on the football so we can start dominating the games in terms of possession. I think Perisic down that left wing back, look, 2 assists in 2 games. You know, that flick on for Harry Kane, that's definitely worked on from the training ground by the set piece coach, Gio. So massive credit to him, just like last week's corner as well, in my opinion. But Perisic, I mean, one stage I watched him run down the wing, few step overs, cut inside, and he went to pass it. I actually thought he probably should have shot, but he went to pass it. But and some of the crosses he delivered in the first half, tight little spaces, and he's still getting them into very, very good areas. And that's what my biggest criticism with Sessegnon has been. And I think loads of fans, I think that's been their biggest criticism of Sessegnon a lot of times. We know defensively he's good, but going forward, he's been a problem. We remember back to last season, cutting in on his right foot. Okay, you can say he's left-footed, but he has to expect that people are going to show him back on his right if he is left-footed. And a lot of his crosses were overhit, nowhere near our man. And it was just a joy to see balls coming into the box and giving our attacking players a chance to get on the end of it.
Yeah, talk to me a bit about Kane and Son. Jory came on before and was really not happy with their performances, and to be honest, their performances for the first 3 games of the season. Are you worried at all, or do you think, you know, Kane keeps getting us over the line, so we're okay?
Look, Kane's paid to score goals. That's what he does at the end of the day. And by the way, massive congratulations to you, Harry Kane, my second wife, the 8th wonder of the world. You know, he broke Sergio Aguero's record today, and he made a bit of history as well. I'll tell you about that now in a sec. But breaking Sergio Aguero's record, 185 goals now for Tottenham in the Premier League. Most goals for one club in the Premier League by any player. So congratulations, Harry Kane, the 8th wonder of the world. And he also scored Tottenham's 1,000th home goal in the Premier League as well. The only other team in the top 6 not to score 1,000 at home is City. Liverpool, United, Chelsea and Arsenal have done it. Kane's son got the first competitive goal in the stadium. Kane got number 1,000 home goal, baby. I'm absolutely delighted for him. And look, at the end of the day, I mean, look, it's not exactly the Harry Kane we're used to seeing, but his job is to score goals, and that's what he's done. He bailed us out last week with a point, scored the winner today. And he's paid to score goals. He was there, and so he's done his job. And I think, look, August, he doesn't usually do well, so that's 2 goals in the bank for him. So we should be absolutely buzzing that he is now sort of starting to break that August duck. Now I think coming into September, around City time, I think you'll see a fully flourished Harry Kane, in my opinion. When it comes to Son, I'm slightly worried. But, boys, I think he's having trouble adapting slightly. And what I mean by that is last year, Son was able to get on the ball, run at people, and that's where he absolutely kills you. This year, if you're watching the 3 games, when he's getting the ball, the defender is so tight up his hole and pushing them away from goal and not letting them get turned and run at them to kill them. I think Son is maybe just having a bit of trouble adapting to the physicality of players coming right behind him and trying to get turned on the ball, hold it up, get turned on the ball and get us going forward. And I think and Son's going to have to get used to that, because with him winning the Golden Boot, people are well aware of Son's threats right now. And they're not just going to let him drift into space, run in behind them, run at them with the ball, because that's where he kills them. So for me, I think he's having a slight trouble adjusting to maybe players being right up behind him and really tight on him.
All right. Big up, Dave, as always, my friend. Keep faith in Davinson Sanchez, by the way. And we'll go on.
What are you going to say?
Yeah, just one more thing. I hear a lot of people getting frustrated with the formation we're playing. Now, for me, and I do see people maybe saying go to a back 4 and stuff like that, but we have to remember, when Sanchez, Dyer or Davies formed 2 centre-backs in a back 4 under Jose Mourinho, we could not keep goals out. Same under Nuno at periods as well. We could not keep goals out. And Conte looked at it, came in and said, okay, the back line's not good enough, so we have to put 3 centre-backs in there. We have to place 2 CDMs to protect that back line. That's why you see us drop into shape rather than press teams. Because if we press and they bypass our midfield and our forward line and our midfield, they're straight at our back line. Whereas when we drop into shape, we compact it. And I think the reason why we do compact ourselves is to actually protect that back line, because Conte's not stupid. He would have been well aware of the mistakes Dyer, Davies, Sanchez and all were making as a back 4. And I see a lot of people saying Dyer and Davies the most improved last year. Of course they are, because they were nowhere near the football team. They had so much scope. That's why they're the most improved players, because they were so far off it. You're never going to say Kane was the most improved, because he's just a consistent performer. So for me, I think going forward, that back line has to get up to scratch so that Conte can maybe play us in the same formation, but a bit more offensive, in my opinion. And yeah, so for me, I see a lot of people saying about the formation change, but going to a back four is not the answer. You can't forget how bad Dyer was when he was given a run, Sanchez when he was given a run, Davies when he played there at times in a back four. So that's why we play a back five, and that's why we sit back instead of pressing.
All right. Big up, Dave.
Nice one, Dave.
We'll see you all next time. Great job on the pre-match pump-up. Don't know what happened to Daigle. It was a no-show today.
No, look, the search party that I sent out this morning, they're still there looking for him. No, look, credit to the guy. He did do a late show last night,
He
you know,
did,
and
yeah.
if I can barely get up for these early shows, I mean, I don't blame Daigle not for getting up. There would have been 6 a.m. where he is. So, brother, hope you enjoyed your sleep. Shawnee carried the can. He was absolutely brilliant. Hope people enjoyed the show. And at the end of the day, we promised you a win, and we delivered. Not the greatest of performance, but we've got games now where we can rectify that. Forest, West Ham, Fulham. And the main thing is picking up points and staying in touching distance with City come the September 10th so that we are well in around them when we play them. So, guys, Tottenham haven't ruined your weekend. We've won. So let's get on with it. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on,
Nice
you
one,
Spurs.
Dave.